routine. If you have questions, let me know.
How's everybody? Good. Well, we're obviously excited to get spring practice started, and this first practice, a lot of energy and enthusiasm. We had a really good off season. Players worked hard, and this first practice is probably give us a little snapshot of where we are. Give every player a little snapshot of where he is, what he needs to do to get better, what they need to do to improve, what we need to do to improve as a team. So it's kind of a reference point where we all are, individually and collectively as a team. I know you guys hate to hear this, but we really don't have a depth chart at this point. It's just for organizational purposes. We want to give everybody an opportunity, out there. We want to coach everybody. We want to see, who can make a contribution to the team. And our only expectation right now is that people play with the kind of effort that is our expectation, which I felt like at times we have not gotten in the past, and that we play with the kind of mental and physical toughness that you need to be a team that people really don't like to play because of your relentless competitive attitude. And we obviously need some guys that are going to be responsible to do their job out there, know what to do, know how to do it, know why it's important to do it that way. So and this really comes down to guys making the right choices and decisions to be all that they can be and to accomplish the goals that they have. And I think we all probably struggle a little bit between how we feel, what our feelings are, and what our choices need to be so that we can accomplish what we want to accomplish. And that's certainly a challenge for all of us, and certainly a challenge for this team. And it'll be interesting to see how we go through spring ball and see how that holds up. The two guys that you obviously saw that will probably not practice all spring long will be Denzel Duvall, who had a foot operation that stems back from his original injury in the Ole Miss game a year ago, and Cyrus Jones had a cartilage in his hip that needed to be repaired, so he'll probably and that was something that came from the season as well. Grant Hill is still got medical leave, and we're not prepared to make any decisions about what his future status is. And you already know that Tyron Jones has been suspended, this semester so far.
We saw Kenyan Drake out there running drills. Just how is he progressing, and what's the plan for him this spring?
Oh, Kenyan is really doing better and better. He actually ran 4.4 when we timed the guys the other day, so he's doing really well, getting his speed back. Probably can't sustain it, because he's not been able to do the same level of conditioning. He has done all the conditioning in the off-season program. He just hadn't been able to do it to the level of the other players. But I think he's going to get more and more confident, and we were really, really pleased with the progress that he made and what he was able to do in practice today.
When you're replacing 3 starters on the offensive line, what are you looking for from those guys during spring practice, and who are some of the guys that are competing for the open spots?
Well, I think that we're giving everybody an opportunity to show what they can do, but we had several guys that played, quite a bit of football for us last year. Dominic played, some for us. Shank played some for us. Bozeman started in a couple games. Brandon Green, we're going to work back in as the offensive lineman. He's played some around here as an offensive lineman before. Having Ryan Kelly and Cam Robinson back, certainly, is very, very helpful. But, I think every player out there is going to get an opportunity. Purse Barker got redshirted last year. He's a guy that we have high hopes for. So, there's a lot of guys going to get a lot of opportunity. And, like I said before, this is where we are. We know where we want to go. What do we have to do to get there? And let's focus on those things and work on everybody improving. And I feel like, there's some guys there that can be pretty good players for us.
Just in terms of Blake Barnett, what are your goals for him for the spring, and just in terms of what you've seen from him, I guess, during the time that he's been on campus, just what kind of progress has he made in terms of learning the system and getting comfortable?
Well, today's really the first day we've seen him play quarterback. You know, we saw him in the off-season program. He's done a great job. He's got great leadership qualities. He's a great person, and I'm sure as all the freshmen, we had 8 of them new ones out there today, 7 freshmen and transfer. You know, they all got a lot to learn, and you know, our goal is to do exactly what I said. You know, here's where we are, here's where we want to go, what do we need to do to get there, and we're going to focus on helping you improve so that you can be the best player that you can be by the end of spring practice, and then next year you're going to be the best player you can be by the end of fall camp, and then we'll have to make a decision on what your role is and how you can contribute to the team, and that's really the only goal and aspiration we have for any of the players, including Blake. And you know, he certainly is a guy that comes here with high accolades, but you know, I think that's one of the most dangerous things that happen to these guys right now. You know, there's such an expectation created for what they're going to do when they get here that everybody loses focus on, you know, the process of what it takes to be a complete player, to be a good player, and the time that it takes to develop. And you know, we've got a lot of patience in trying to develop our players, and you know, how fast he develops is going to be kind of how fast he can get the uptake and go out there and execute and do the job that I know he wants to do and would like for him to do.
Just to follow up on the local player, I know you got to see Bo Scarborough in bowl practice a little bit. Where does he fit in, and is there any chance he'd play some H-back as well as some running back?
We're playing Bo right now at running back, and I think the one thing that we try to do with the young players is not move them around and try to teach them a lot of different positions. You know, 2 experiments that we're doing is, you know, we moved Kerwin Corwin to look at him as an offensive lineman and Johnny Dwight as a tight end. And both those guys have done pretty well, you know, with the changes. But with Bo, we're going to try to teach him one thing, all right, and that's how to play tailback right now. And until we figure out whether he can or can't do that, we're probably not going to give him multiple roles, you know, right now, because, you know, we really have, you know, O.J. Howard and Ty Smith to sort of do those things. We don't have a Jalston Fowler, although Nicewander was the backup fullback last year, and he's kind of an H2, and we feel like all 3 of those guys can contribute in a positive way at that position.
I just want to ask about Jacob Coker returning in his 2nd season. What's different about him? What do you see different about him in year 2?
Who is
Jacob Coker.
Well, you know, again, we only had 1 practice, all right, and you guys act like we've been practicing every day, you know, illegally in the off season, which we haven't been doing. So as much as I'd like to be able to tell you that the guy's done great since January, I really can't, because, you know, all we've done is run around cones and jump over bags and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, you know, today's the first day. He certainly seemed a lot more confident out there and comfortable. Obviously, when he started last year, you know, it was a whole new offense to him. Everybody was ahead of him, but, you know, right now I feel like, you know, he's a lot more comfortable and confident with what we're doing. We've tried to make it a little bit easier for that position so that they don't have as much burden maybe as some of the guys in the past have had, so that the inexperienced players can develop a little more quickly. And we're hopeful that Jacob will be able to do that, and we're pleased with where he is right now.
Secondly, after Mississippi State quarterback Dak Prescott was involved with an issue down in spring break, do you tell the team anything different when they're going down there, if they're going on a spring break trip? Any message to them?
Well, my message to them was, you know, we need everybody to make good choices and decisions about what they do and what they don't do, so that they're always making choices and decisions that's going to help them be who they want to be. And, you know, when you know you're not supposed to do something that you want to do and you know it's the wrong thing to do, you know, please don't allow yourself to do that, so that you won't have issues and problems and you won't have to deal with negative consequences relative to your behavior. So that's kind of the message that we give to our players, and I'm hopeful that, and I'm really almost confident that, we've got pretty good guys on our team, and we haven't had a lot of issues, and hopefully we won't have any over the next 9 or 10 days.
Do you remember a year of replacing as many skill guys at the same time as this year? And what's the toughest part about transitioning so many guys at the same time and getting them acclimated?
Right. Well, I think anytime you lose experienced players, it's a work in progress to try to replace them. And on offense, we're losing, 3 wideouts that were all good players here and had lots of experience, over really a 3-year period. And, a tailback that was, very productive here over a 3-year career. A quarterback who hadn't played much, who did a great job for us last year. So, all these things create opportunities for other guys that we have in the program. And, we've got a couple talented receivers that need to develop into the kind of players that can play with a winning performance at their position. And, we're going to work with them so that we hope that they can. And we also have some running backs around here that have played pretty well for us when they had the opportunity to play. I think the quarterback position is the one place we haven't had a guy that ever went on the field, and really, but it's no different than we were last year. Hopefully we'll be fortunate enough to have somebody step up for us like, Blake Sims did a year ago. So these are all challenges, but they're all opportunities for other players on our team who, have ability to go out now, and it's their time to do it, and they got to mature into it.
Last one, Mark.
Just generally, what are you looking to see from your quarterbacks in the spring, the 5 guys that you have? What do you want to see from them during spring practice, and what are you looking for with them?
Well, I think I want to see what every coach would want to see, and what every fan would want to see, and what everybody sitting in this room would want to see, is that the guy can go in and provide leadership for our team, make good choices and decisions about what he has to do to play winning football at his position, which means he makes good judgments, out there, takes care of the ball, is accurate enough to throw the ball to the skill guys that we have, and make, throws that allow us to make big plays, and is not going to be a guy that doesn't take care of the ball and is careless with the ball and turns the ball over, and makes good choices and decisions about all those things. And I think that's what we'd look for in a quarterback anytime. Leadership, judgment, accuracy, good decision making in terms of where he delivers the ball and how he distributes it, and that's what we'll look for. And the guy that does that the best for us is going to be the best guy that has an opportunity to play that position.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.